Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. I'm Chelsea. You know that. I know that. Did you know as of filming this, we're about 800 subscribers away from 100,000 subscribers. If I had any tears left in me, I would cry. But I don't because I'm pregnant and I cry all the time. Anyways, and I can hardly breathe and I have 5 more months to go. So I have been getting so many messages, comments, DMs from y'all regarding the situation. If you haven't watched my first video on this, please go do so that you will be informed, know what's going on, all of that. So a little synopsis. Jessie Lee Ward, imbossLee, your best friend and mine. She took 16, so the 16 people below her, like her direct downline, I'm guessing is who that is. That's kind of how she made it seem too. She took them to Colombia. I keep saying Cambodia, which it's not that, but if I say that in this video, you know what I mean. I might even say Colorado, who knows? Now, before we get into the true blasphemy that is this video, I want to take a second and thank the sponsor of this video and tell you all about them. The sponsor of today's video is Babbel. Y'all know that they've been a sponsor of my channel for quite a while now. I want to say like almost a year. And if you know anything about me, I am all about learning. I always watching a documentary, always falling down a rabbit hole trying to find out all the information I can about every little thing that interests me. And learning new languages and learning about new cultures is definitely one or two technically of those things as well. And now y'all know I've said previously that I'm so excited to be able to learn Italian and Spanish and all these other languages with Babbel because we're going to be traveling soon. Oh, how the tables have turned in the last few weeks, months really, because I'm 4 months pregnant now. So our travel plans may be halted, but I have always said that since any children that me and my husband have will have some Cuban blood in them, thanks to my husband, I really want to be able to instill that in them and make sure that they have not only have pride in their culture, and instead of just sending them off to live with their abuelo for a month and have him teach them everything, I want to be able to instill that in my household as well. So I've been really trying during my pregnancy to take time to be able to learn even just basic phrases, but to be able to work those into conversations every single day as well, so that I can relay that onto my child. Now, just in case you're living under a rock and you're like, Chelsea, what the heck is Babbel? Don't worry, I'm gonna tell you. Babbel is easily the best language learning app out there. Not only are there lessons designed by real teachers, but then also they do have multiple different ways that you can learn. Some of us learn better in like a classroom setting. Some people learn better with memorization and just repetition. And then there are some people that really need to immerse themselves and play games and watch videos, listen to podcasts, and they do have all of those options available to you. Now, Babbel's so confident that you'll be speaking a new language within 3 weeks that they actually have a 20-day money-back guarantee too. Like I already mentioned, they take real-world conversations, help you be immersed in the culture, especially learning about it, the histories of the places where they do speak these languages, which is extremely important. You'll learn conversations and different topics about food, travel, relationships, business, and even some things about the history of those places too. One of my favorite things is, for instance, I did not retain almost any information that I learned from high school and, well, middle school, high school, and college when it came to any of my Spanish classes. But one thing that really helps me is not just the repetition, but the reviewing. And I love that it always reminds, in the app, it always reminds me to review different sections and lessons that I've already taken. Estoy embarazada. So I like to try to work in things of the symptoms that I'm having because that's, something I'm going through right now. And it's just, I feel like more fun to say it in a different language. So I learned that cansada means tired, and girl, I am so tired. It might be time for you to maybe reevaluate your New Year's resolutions that you made. It is mid-February by the time this video comes out. Are you still keeping up with your resolutions or your goals? Maybe it's time to reevaluate it, see what is unrealistic, what is realistic, and learning even just a couple new phrases, or even trying to be like a little bit more conversational and pushing yourself within learning a new language could definitely be something that you could add to that, and you can do so with Babbel. So you can go ahead and click that link in the description box, or actually you can scan the QR code that I will have on the screen over here, and you can get 60% off of your subscription with Babbel. 60% off. I know, that's wild. Thank you again, Babbel, for sponsoring this video, and let's go ahead and get right back on into today's video. She took them there, paid for all of it. She makes sure that everyone knows she paid for it, and then took them on a hike. She then keeps calling it a walk. She kept saying that she specifically told them that it was going to be a 2-hour hike, and then also that they needed to prepare 90 days before, by going to the gym and eating right and all that, deliberately lied to them and withheld information because it was not, in fact, a 2-hour hike. It turned out to be, from what she said, a 10-mile, 15-hour, or actually like all day and the next day, hike, rock climbing, sleeping on the beach, eating off of leaves, jumping into the ocean in the dark. Sharks, what are those? When do they eat? Who knows? Which realistically, like, and a lot of people have said this, and I said this too in my last video, if you would have been prepared and like known about like the itinerary and all that prior to doing all this, sounds like a excursion, like sounds like a really cool day. Of course, the cultiness comes in, the cult leader aspect of it comes in, and it's pretty wild. Deliberately lied to her team, withheld information, didn't want them to have all the information, but then got mad at them and super disappointed with them that they weren't prepared, even though she didn't tell them what they were doing, so they couldn't prepare. She got a lot of backlash about this. Julie Jo walking on Lexapro. That rhymes. If you don't know who she is, please go follow her. TikTok, YouTube. She has a pretty huge following on TikTok, which is awesome. I actually did an interview with Julie Jo. Kind of forced her to make a YouTube channel. Love that for her. So I'll have them linked down below, their videos on this, them meaning Julie Jo and Aaron B's, and then DC as well, because she did a live reaction to it too. But Aaron B's was right under Jessie Lee for a number of years on her multi-level marketing company teams. So they reacted to it. Julie Jo also, kind of put it on blast, rightfully so, on TikTok. And that video has done really, really, really well and gotten a lot of attention. Not only the attention of the leading cult expert in the US, Dr. Stephen Hassan. We watched his reaction to it in my last video, and his assistant was nice enough to send me over like a better like version of it, so I didn't have to like screen record and all that. And it was, anyways, so love him. I've done an interview with him as well, how to get people out of multiple marketing companies and how they are cults. So go watch that too if you'd like. I will have that in the card up here, everything I've mentioned, then in the description box below. He was spot on, saying like that sounds super, like paraphrasing here, super cult leader and elitist and snobby and gross and deliberately withholding information and having certain conditions be a certain way to where they break people down. And that's cult behavior 101. And that's really unfortunate. Jessie Lee's antics also caught the eye of Distractify. I wouldn't say reputable, but like pretty big publication, not like Time Magazine or Rolling Stone, but when it comes to like online, like entertainment, trending influencers, stuff like that, like it's pretty big. So I'll have that link down below too. But it says this TikTok influencer, which she's not an influencer, but still, that's here nor there, tricked her clients into going onto the leadership retreat from hell. The latest TikTok influencer to find herself under fire is internet famous business coach, I guess we can use air quotes for that too, Jessie Lee Ward, aka imbossLee, who's been dubbed the internet's MLM multi-level marketing queen. Has the internet dubbed herself that, or has she dubbed herself that? In early 2023, she found herself at the center of drama after she took a group of women on a retreat in Colombia. Since then, she's been accused of some pretty heinous behavior. So who is imbossLee and why is she trending? Read on for the TikTok tea. Who is Jessie Lee Ward? Blah, blah, goes over like who she is. That is a great picture of her that they chose. Wow. I'm not going to hate someone just because I like don't like them and don't like their behavior. And then it goes over Julie Jo's TikTok as well, which like I said, has a lot of views, which is wonderful. What happened on imbossLee's retreat in Colombia? Jessie Lee Ward faces abuse allegations. On the first day of the trip, the group had a gay old time. Whoever wrote this is amazing. However, things took a turn for the worse, which was supposed to be a 2-hour hike. It wasn't until later that the participants learned that the trip would actually take a total of 15 hours, which they didn't even like learn that. She wasn't like, hey, this is actually going to be like an overnight thing. It was just when something happened is when they learned it, right? It's not an eloquent way of saying that, but you get it. This was an issue for one of the hikers who had diabetes. The group member was forced to opt out of the hike and was later evaluated by a medic. Jessie later admitted that she intentionally lied about where they were headed to build character. Many insisted that sleep deprivation and heat exhaustion are both tactics used by cult leaders, and we didn't say that, TikTok did, which is funny that they're saying that because it's like cult experts say that. I don't know, anyway, just the way that was written was interesting. Despite the backlash she received online, the influencer not only addressed the claims but confirms in a lengthy Instagram post she doubled down on her methods. I absolutely made them walk 10 miles in direct sunlight without telling them where we would end up sleeping on the beach instead of the 12-bedroom villa. She wrote in the post, adding that the group members who struggled to complete the hike were at fault for not preparing themselves. And so that's actually what it says on this post that is still up. And it says, I could have spent $30,000 and just given them a glorified team vacation. Instead, I opted for a mastermind crash course. Say mastermind one more time, I swear to God. of breaking down every single one of these people through seeing them where they are to help bring them to where I see them in the future. What if that's not where they want to go? I absolutely made them walk 10 miles in direct sunlight without telling them where we were going instead of sleeping there, blah, blah. And how long to see who placed blame on people when they were at fault. But it's like, were they at fault? Because you lied to them. So how can someone prepare if you lied to them? Like, that in itself is gaslighting. And it's hilarious that her other response, the one on YouTube, or a live stream, I mean, it's on YouTube. I think she does it everywhere. Instagram, TikTok, whatever, wherever she goes live. But I got it from YouTube. But she like doubles down even more. And she's like, they didn't prepare. It's their fault. And it's like, but you lied to them. They prepared for a 2-hour hike. You specifically lied to them and didn't tell them what it actually was. So no, you can't get mad at them. Pain is in your mind. Diabetes isn't in your mind. Heat exhaustion isn't in your mind. Her post continued, I absolutely had them jump into the Black Ocean at midnight to surprise them with a swim with glowing plankton. Bioluminescence. I absolutely only fed them 100% clean meals and forced workouts every single day, ending with 3-minute planks. We had fun, but more importantly, I got to watch 15 people, I thought it was 6, that I lead and love go through a complete metamorphosis. They're not moths. I don't take my gifts for granted. Now that we have gone over that, I also want to go over what my lawyer said, because I sent it to her and had her listen to most of it as well, just to see like the legality aspect of it. Because whenever people are like, oh my God, you kidnapped your team, it's like, okay, let's not be dramatic. Let's like go by the actual definitions of things, which y'all know I like to do. I'm very like logical, listen, I can't stand this person, but of course I want to give them the benefit of the doubt. Also, like I've said before, this person is not a reliable narrator, but all we have to go off of is what she's saying. It's hilarious that she like in her later response gets mad and is like, who told you that? And it's like, ma'am, you did. You told us this. Like, we're reacting to your words. Like, what are you talking about? We speak very casually with each other, but she said, so I've watched about 20 minutes so far. Up to that point, I'm getting false/fraudulent misrepresentations, broadly speaking. So just in layman's terms for y'all, not in legalese. False imprisonment, which is restraining/confining another person to a restricted area, which if people tried to leave and she didn't let them, then yes. Of course, we don't know if that happened because she's not a reliable narrator and we only have her word to go off of. Kidnapping, taking away someone against their will and holding them in false imprisonment or confining them against their will. Important to note, false/fraudulent misrepresentation can be found to be a coercion method for kidnapping if the other elements are hit. And Jessie Lee Ward mistakenly gave away her intent at around 38 minutes, 48 seconds, which I believe that's when she said how she admitted, like, I'm purposely lying to them so that I can break them down and so I can like do this. And how she admitted, like, I lied to them. It's the fraudulent misrepresentation. And this is not legal advice from me, but some free legal advice from my lawyer. Don't publicly state your intent when you're doing something wrong. You just instantly met the hardest element for prosecution. And then in all caps, she says, hold the phone. I just got to the part where she threw them in the ocean at midnight. What the F? I love her so much. Y'all would love her too. Skirts in that gray area mostly, like we talked about. It's a thing of we don't know what actually happened. But again, we're just going off of what she said happened. And she's not a reliable narrator, as life itself, in my opinion, has shown to be true. But the person who got 911, like motorcycled away, anyone who feels like they suffered emotionally physical harm, I think would definitely have a standing to go after her for that damage. What's most damaging is that she effing admitted all of it, including state of mind. And just because she's in Colombia doesn't mean that she isn't under US laws/jurisdiction. As a citizen, one of the things that you agree to when you travel abroad is not only to comply with the laws of your home country, but also the laws of the place you're currently in, like law of the land. You must do both. So I just wanted to go over that and just explain like a few things before we hop into her actual like response, the one from a live stream that she didn't take down, which is hilarious. Also, she does say in there, how do y'all know they didn't sign waivers and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, well, girl, that wouldn't matter because any waiver you would have them sign would be completely null and void. Again, I'm not a lawyer, whatever, but like, I feel like that's pretty much common sense. If you sign something, but then the person like lies to you and then admits that they lied to you, like that contract is now null and void. Also, just as I said in the first video that I did on this, again, I'll have that link down below, but I never like to take anything out of context because I personally don't like being taken out of context. However, I am going to have Ethan kind of skip through this a little bit because it's so long. It's 2 hours long and that's excruciating. So I don't want to have a 4-hour long video on this. So I am going to have him skip a few parts that aren't relevant to the actual story, you know, when she's pausing, when she's saying like who she's packing trials for. And then I'm going to link this down below as well, but just know those are the only things I'm taking out. And if you want to see the entire thing, I'll link her video down below too, or you can just go to Jessie Lee Ward's YouTube channel and find it if you want. Please don't bully her. Please don't be mean. Please don't harass her. Keep that in my comment section if you really feel the need to like rip her apart. Which also don't do that either. Just be logical.
Hello, everybody. What's going on? It's Jessie Lee. You can call me #BossLee or the People's Mentor. I help people make 6 and 7 figures online from their phones. This isn't Ask Me Anything, where we're also going to pack up trials because you guys have a bunch of orders. And I have Sasha, Mateo, and Avi here. You can ask questions about the 15-hour hike. We are actually kind of excited about that. And Sasha and Mateo said, and Avi will actually strip off to the side, but Mateo and Sasha are going to strip every time you order. So link is in the bio. Well, at least Sasha offered that. But anyway.
Sasha and Mateo are 2 people that they're in her downline. I think one's from Germany, one's from like Sweden, something like that. Quite attractive men, if I do say so myself. Not that that's relevant, but you know, a compliment don't hurt. So they are with her, whatever. Like when she went, I think there's some of her top-ranking people that are from Europe. So whenever she like goes over there, she'll like travel with them, I believe. She did a lot of traveling last year. I think it was during the summer. I can't really remember. And she had posted like a lot of pictures with them and stuff. And they went to like a bunch of different countries. But that's who Sasha and Mateo are. And then Avi is like the nickname for her boyfriend. She doesn't really have him on screen a lot, which I like that she doesn't do that.
We are going to pack up your orders, so thank you for your orders that we already have, and you can you can ask anything you want. It doesn't have to be about these egregious claims that are being made on the internet. But anyway,
these egregious claims that I made myself. I purposely did not watch Julie Joe and Aaron and DC's videos because when I know that I'm going to also react to something, I don't want or like do a video on a specific topic that someone else already has. I specifically don't like people that I know. I don't watch their videos because I don't want to like unconsciously like mirror anything that they say, you know, have my own thoughts and all that. And sometimes we can have the same thoughts. That's fine. Or, you know, we can say things that are kind of similar. That's okay. But I usually watch those after. So just so you know, I have not watched their videos, but I wouldn't think that they would make like super crazy claims. And if you think about it, the information they're going off of is exactly from what she said. So it's like, it's not like they're just making up crazy stuff. Like they're going off of exactly what you said. They're reacting to your own content and your information that you put out there. She says she didn't gaslight any of her members, which it seems like she did. From what she said, from what she described, that is gaslighting. You purposely lied to them and then got mad at them. It's absolutely insane and just asinine. But then also this video in itself is like gaslighting as well, because you're saying like, oh my God, who told you that? You weren't even there, blah, blah. And it's like, no, girl, we're going off of what you said. So how are you going to get mad at people for making claims when they're just reacting to exactly what you said, the information that you put out there? So like, if you're going to be mad at anyone, be mad at yourself.
Your account of what happened sounded very brutal. Was it that intense? Mateo?
Yeah.
Take this one.
I take this one.
Okay. What happened in Colombia sounded very brutal, according to the videos that people are making about us. Would you like to talk about the intensity?
That's not what the person said. What the person said was the Colombia trip sounded very brutal from your account of what happened, meaning from what you said. And then she just reread it so that one of the guys that was with her, Mateo, can answer the question. But she just completely rephrased the question. The Colombia trip sounded super brutal according to the videos that have been made about us. No, girl, according to what you said. That's what they asked.
You want the actual truth? It was brutal. It was incredible. Like people, like a lot of people, out of the 16 people, at least 15 could have died. Because Sasha Francis, you don't kill him even like, I don't know, even in the worst situation ever. Now,
I do the keto kick bundle while he explains how absolutely brutal and horrific the entire experience was.
And so the actual truth is that the hike, because we want to call it like that, but it wasn't even a hike. It was a challenge level 2, like literally for absolute beginners. Like at the end of it was organized.
Challenge level 2 for beginners. I mean, I would say walking 5 miles in the heat isn't for beginners, but then also like adding like the rock climbing part onto it, wouldn't say that that's necessarily for beginners. Again, I was not there, but I'm going off of how she described it.
For mentally be prepared for everything. So let's prepare for a 15 hours hike or whatever. But it was a really soft thing that at the end had an incredible result.
But you didn't tell them to prepare for a 15-mile hike or 15-hour hike. You didn't do that. So, I mean, you could have like the most experienced person, the best hiker or walker in the world. You could tell them, yeah, we're going to go on a 2-mile hike. And if they're only prepared for that, like, yeah, it's all about preparation. If you're not prepared for a long day and a half adventure, like, that's dangerous. What are you doing?
Result, mentally, the people, like all of us, got out with many things that we learned, even though physically it wasn't such an incredible thing. Then, okay, we had a person that after 45 minutes was a bit sick because of the heat. It's fine, but like the heat, it's even just being in the pool that could have happened. Like literally, like we're literally just walking straight on a normal, like.
I usually don't get like real mad during videos. As y'all know, calmness is my superpower. And you'll usually never see me get like mad. But just like her condescending face right now, making me want to choose violence. And I have so many hormones rushing through my body right now.
Road.
And the heat in Colombia is fine. It's pretty hot, of course, but it's nothing incredible. We had different stops, so it's like it was everything super calculated. Like, we have to be honest. We had actually, I don't know what we saw the video in.
Yeah, apparently Matteo and Sasha watched the video.
Yes,
we can account that I have not watched it, but I do know it exists.
We kind of watched the video.
Pretty psychotic that you guys even believe this. It's a little strange you believe the thing.
Why is it strange that people believe this when it's just a reaction to the information that you put out there? So are you saying that it's crazy that people believe what you said? Same. I personally don't think, in my opinion, that anyone should believe anything that comes out of your mouth. Outside the MLM world, girl, you're nobody.
The way things are completely twisted, it was 100%, even for the unfittest person ever, which some of the ladies were not in the best physical condition, yet like nobody was not able to face the whole thing. Even when it comes to the famous diabetic person, which if you will ever ask for a feedback.
Here's the thing though, is like, yes, you can frame things in a certain light when you are reacting to things, but you have to give your audience some type of credit and the viewer some type of credit that they're going to see what it is that you are reacting to. And the other commentary channels as well, they typically don't take things out of context, and especially the ones that they're referring to. They typically don't, because again, we don't want to be taken out of context. And we don't want to accuse, because that's just another thing that people could use against us, right? That's one of the main reasons I don't do it. So they're saying the way things are being twisted, and it's like, how are things being twisted? They're again reacting to exactly how she told the story.
Ask for a feedback to this diabetic person, like she completely changed their life because of the day, like facts.
I just cannot stand when people say things like that, like, oh, this company has changed my life. It's like, no, it hasn't. And this is something that I've said over and over again over the past like few months, because it just like came to my mind one day where it's like, no, it didn't change your life. It might have changed your mindset, but realistically, it's just that you've been further brainwashed. I'm going to speed it up to 1.25 speed. If it's too hard to listen to, we'll go back, but this is just taking so long.
And at the end, like when a challenge is hurting you, a challenge is just made for you to grow. That's pretty much the thing. So like that's pretty much what I have to say. Like I don't have to tell that the rocks or the mountains that we climbed were nothing incredible, nor the walk, the 1 hour walk on the beach, nor something like that. And we always had a backup plan. So actually the person that had the issue in the very first 45 minutes, then she had options of being transported back with a helicopter eventually. She had an option which she take. So we had different flags that we were saying. So do you want to use the
yellow
green flag, the yellow flag, etc. So, and she used the flag. So we had a motorbike picking her up and transporting her to the next stop point where we actually had some lunch. So everything was absolutely calculated. Nobody was ever at a life risk or anything like that, and that's super ridiculous. Like even just thinking that way.
It's interesting that they're focusing so much on the danger aspect of it and like the liability aspect of it. That's not really what it's about, and maybe that's what other people have been focusing on. But really, in my video that I already posted, the first one of this, I really don't feel like that's like what I focused on the most. Mine was the lying and like the elitist attitude and the gaslighting and just like the cult leader behavior and the coercion is really what I focused on more.
And even if it was, fucking hell, like it's always an experience or whatever.
Exactly. I love it. It was funny though. Yeah. It was hot. You know, people were sweating, especially the people from Sweden who aren't used to the heat. So what? We told them 2 days in advance. You guys never asked. You didn't ask for how much we prepared them. You didn't ask for what we told them 90 days in advance. You didn't tell us any of this stuff.
You didn't ask if we prepared them. No, Jessie Lee, we're going off of what you said. So if you're lying and again, omitting information and you're not divulging the whole truth, and if you frame a situation a certain way, is it other people's fault how they receive the information that you put out there? Not really if you're lying about it or not putting out the whole information. And again, you specifically said multiple times that you intentionally lied to them the entire day to break them down and destroy them.
Very excited about this crazy marketing videos. Like it's incredible how you can get so upset about a place you never were. A diabetic who changed her life, who had insulin the whole time. Who told you guys she didn't have insulin? Where did that detail come in? Like, why are you listening to these people? Like,
I didn't hear her say that in her video, so that's why I never touched on that. I would assume that if you told a diabetic person to prepare for a 2-hour hike, that they would bring their insulin.
Amazing marketing though. Literally, the couch potatoes out here are triggered. We agree.
So just a little bit of a trigger warning. I don't really even feel like I have to do one, but Jessie Lee and a few other of the people who are going to talk during this video, it does have some inklings of fat phobia. They do mention multiple times that the other people because she hasn't seen my video yet, who react to her video that she put out, couch potatoes, that they wouldn't be able to even, do like a 2-mile hike, which it's like, yeah, they would. I know them. Yeah, they would. But just saying stuff like that, like over and over again. And there's a difference between saying like, oh, like I'm a couch potato, of being like, I'm lazy today, or like something like that, right? Or like calling myself a couch person, or like I am one with my couch right now. There's a difference between like that and then the way she's saying it and the way that other people are saying it in this video. The way that I'm interpreting it is that they are trying to put on someone's physical appearance. How are you going to try to on someone who is actively trying, who is in the gym? And I even said this in a live stream earlier today, because I was like, I don't want to be like all big sister and get, protective and be like, hey, Jessie Lee, why don't you pick on someone your own size? Which is funny because she's shorter than me. Positive I can lift more than her, but that's okay. But still, I mean, she'd probably try to call me fat too, but it's like, I am a vessel for life right now, so I'm not fat. Either way, it's not the worst thing in the world. I'd rather be overweight than be an absolutely elitist piece of shit like her. Someone's physical appearance doesn't mean that what they are saying, the points that they are making regarding you and your behavior, doesn't negate that. Doesn't diminish their points.
So are you excited for all the lawsuits coming my way? Let's discuss this. Who would sue? There are 15 super, super happy people, like amazingly happy people. We changed their life. Like nobody would sue. And by the way, how do you know they didn't sign waivers to begin with? Did you think about that? Or are you just watching these videos of these two total couch potatoes who could never survive the walk, the hike? It's incredible. It's literally incredible.
You could say something intelligent, something that's right. You rarely ever do. And you could also be an extremely unethical and person. So speaking on the, waivers thing, I already kind of did since I talked to my lawyer about it. And that's the thing, is that you're stating your intent. You are saying that you lied to them. So in those waivers, did it say if they even signed waivers, which with how it has been alleged to me, I'm not saying this is a fact, but with how it has been alleged to me that she like makes people sign things, apparently, allegedly, she used to try to have people sign like NDAs that like were completely blank and like not even filled out. And it's like, what? You can't do that. So anyone can sue anyone for anything. It doesn't mean they're going to have a legal leg to stand on. Doesn't mean it's even going to get past the judge's desk. If some of those people wanted to, they could. Doesn't mean they will, because let's be honest, they're most likely brainwashed by her and terrified. People are so scared of this woman. It bothers me so much. Like, what is there to be scared of? And I understand I'm not in that situation and this person doesn't have a hold on me. So like, it's super easy for me to say that. Like, what are you scared of? But think about it logically. Like, if you left her team, cut her out of your life, what is she going to do to you? She has no power over you. She can't do anything to you. So if you're on her team, if you were on that trip and you want to sue her, you could probably get so much money from her. I am not an attorney. This is not legal advice, but you could probably talk to a lawyer and they will tell you, oh yeah, you should definitely sue her. Possibly. It's just my opinion. And again, it's my unprofessional, not legal advice or opinion or anything like that. But
look at all the comments that people were like, I'm a quote unquote survivor. They're making fun of you guys. They're literally making fun of you guys. Like, holy smokes. All right, baby. Who's the next order? Amazing. You guys are pathetic. It's freaking incredible. Amanda. Although maybe you should sue Sasha Franz, but that's just my personal opinion. Mostly because he's German. So in California?
Germans always make problems.
Yes. She was never a top leader. The woman loves to lie, okay? Loves to lie and embellish. 30,000 points on our team is absolutely not a top leader. Sasha Franz, how many points a month did you do?
How many?
Yeah, like as a top leader.
At the moment, this one's
No. Like what is rank 10?
1 million.
Oh, 1 million! But somebody goes online and markets themselves as a top leader for 30,000 points. Guys, do the mathematics.
she's talking about Erin Bees, who was on her team, who was a commentary YouTuber, who again reacted to Jessie Lee's original video. She was on her team for years. She was directly under her. At that time, yes, according to the income disclosure statement and the percentage of where she was in that, yeah, she would have been considered a top leader, a top performer, not only within Prove It, but on your team as well. And yes, after a while, when she started to see you for who you were, Jessie Lee, she started to fall off a bit. So again, she's just trying to discredit what Erin is saying and saying that Erin markets herself as a top leader. No, Erin doesn't do that.
Randy, who was on the trip, this just in, I'm going to sue you if you don't continue to do these amazing retreats for us. Lindy, who was on the trip, one of the survivors. I'm going to sue if I'm not invited to the next one. Just saying.
Cult members typically don't see what's happening while they're in it, and many times don't see anything wrong with it, and a lot of times love it. So again, just because the people who are in it are not seeing an issue with how you're treating them and your coercion tactics and your cult tactics and your lies and your manipulation, just because they don't see an issue with it right now because they're, in my opinion, brainwashed by you, doesn't mean that what you're doing is right. It doesn't justify your actions.
Like, I love it. You guys are driving me traffic. It's actually kind of incredible.
So if, like, you can literally get everything that they're promoting from the keto diet, which you should absolutely talk to your doctor about. Not everyone should be on it. And then also from a pre-workout and like a supplement.
Trey Love says, I'm going to sue you if you ever stop doing lives. Kate says, I want to do it at the next mastermind. We wouldn't be mad. Hey, we might in Colorado, actually. We might do a pretty awesome type when we're there. Sure wish someone would push me past my limits. See, I knew I had winners that follow me. That's what I thought.
If you if you set the right expectations, if you let them prepare, if you are honest with them, it's not a big deal. It's fine. But it's the lying part. And she doesn't see that. She's focusing on like, no one died. It wasn't dangerous. Like, they're lying. They're reacting to your own content and your own information you put out there.
We're about to go to the Bahamas together. We're flying on a private jet. They'll probably sue me for that too. It's very dangerous. I don't know. Sasha will probably sue me for the private jet if anybody does. Maybe Andreas. I don't know. All right.
Just making sure there was.
Oh, are you the woman that took her leaders on a 15-mile hike? Well, not 15 miles. I thought it was 15 hours. I'm trying to get the facts straight, guys. Was it 15 hours? What did we do? Did I abandon them on a beach and leave them there to die? Were there diabetics and diabetic comas? Like, can you please tell me the story? Because I know I was there and you weren't, but like, I would love to know the story since 3 of us that were literally there are in the room right now and none of you were there, but you seem to know more about the trip than the people who were there. So just please.
The interesting thing is that I just thought of is maybe she deleted that live stream so that, which is stupid because you can just literally go on anyone else's reaction to it and watch it and hear the words come out of her own mouth. But maybe she did that to try to control the narrative even more and be like, oh no, they're twisting my words. Those are your words.
Just please give me more information since I wasn't there. All right, go ahead, babe.
There is another label for Amanda. I'm just
We
making
printed
sure.
two on accident, yeah.
All right, so next one.
Lindy's laughing at you for 15 hours. And yes, this survivor must go to bed because now we have another out of the country event leaving tomorrow. Let's go die in the Bahamas.
Wouldn't it have been 20 hours then? Because it was all day from what from her own account of the story. It was all like it started in like the morning, like lunchtime or whatever. And then they went all day, all night, slept on the beach. R.I.P. to the girl who slept on the beach in her bathing suit bottoms. I really hope she didn't get a UTI or yeast infection. Ugh, that would be awful. Like, think about how uncomfortable that was. Ugh. The next day, they had to walk back. She made them walk back barefoot. Why would you do that? To punish them so that you can then reward them? That's such abusive behavior. That's not okay.
Oh, I'm shocked. I'm not shocked with stupidity. Rendy, who was there, I not once felt unsafe or concerned about my health. It's amazing. Like, I know this is good stuff. It's good stuff. All right, baby, let's go.
Heidi.
Heidi, who is watching live, how are you?
Hi, Heidi.
Hi, Heidi. Heidi, hello. Hi, Nicole. She got her ketones. Love that. Can I order? Yes. Link in the bio. These are pure therapeutic ketones. They put you in ketosis in an hour or less. Stacy says, I've been doing planks every day. Yes, we had people plank every day. It is true. And we did only provide them with healthy food. It was my trip. I paid for it. They didn't pay to be on it. So I fed them what I like to eat, which is healthy food. Okay. Okay. All right. And anyway, all right, let's see. So she is actually getting one of those big boxes because she has a lot, actually. She's got 45 Mitoplex. She's got Gummy Bear, and she's got a variety keto up box as well. I love that, Stacey. I'm proud of you. Yes, you can ask questions. I look so happy, and I have my three main men in my life all in one room at the same time. So I got my man that I love them all, actually. I love them all. But there's no like gangbangs going on. That would be the next room where that's happening. But that's not happening. Okay, Avi doesn't share. What does my daily diet look like? Very, very heavy in protein. Financially free by 30 suggestions. Network marketing is the best.
Unless you're like crazy investing, that's not going to happen. Who the fuck even has their life figured out by 30? Like, be realistic. There's no shortcut. And then also she said, oh, network marketing is the best. No, she's even said before that network marketing is not the way that, like, it's not like her most like lucrative source of income. Investing and like some of her investments, it's not the best. if it was the best way to become financially free by 30, which is, I know I'm being like rude right now, but it's like, that's such an illogical thing to even strive for. If it was the best way to do it, there wouldn't be a 1% success rate with that, or even like profit margin.
The best. You subscribed in 2020 or 2021, you look so different. Yes, this would be what health looks like. Sasha Franz, do you have an opinion on something?
This is what Ozempic looks like. Being skinny doesn't mean that you're healthy.
You and Mateo this morning laughed, and you said that people were saying that there is not a way that you can't tell if somebody's healthy from what they look like. I disagree because I feel like I look very healthy. I also feel very healthy, but like, what? I woke up and you guys were laughing about that. So, do you have an opinion on that?
So basically, they're saying if you're fat, if you look fat, you're not healthy, and you can tell that someone's not healthy if they're fat. I feel like even that conversation and that thought process is a pretty slippery slope, because yes, if you are carrying like a lot more weight, then you are at risk for certain things. I understand that. But then also on the opposite end of the spectrum, if you are super skinny and unhealthy, yeah, you could be at risk for a lot of the same things, like the strain on your heart. A lot of people who are anorexic and bulimic have heart issues. So there's a lot of those things that on both ends of the spectrum. It's pretty discouraging to say something like that to someone when it's like, okay, but I'm trying, I'm working on, I'm trying to eat healthy, like actively trying. If you are actively trying to better yourself and to be healthy, if you are able to, and when I mean able to, I mean like able-bodied, then yeah. I obviously want to use like as inclusive language as possible, guys. Please don't hate me for what I'm saying. It like I was saying, it is a slippery slope, and it's a slippery point to make because people can take it out of context. But then there's people like that will take it out of context. I don't want to say like be offended by it, but make it sound like you're being rude when you're not. It's like no. I love your body. Body neutrality is more of what I believe. And like love yourself. Go for it. I don't care. I don't want to be like, I don't care about your body, but I don't want to care about my body. Be healthy, do what you want. Baby, as long as you're healthy, who cares? And again, we are not commenting on people's bodies, but in this context, like we're talking about this conversation of what she's saying. The like, can you tell if someone's healthy by looking at them? Not really. That's kind of dumb because like you could have someone who has like a debilitating heart condition, or someone who looks healthy but has HIV or has AIDS and is like dying, or has cancer and is like... She's bringing this back to, I'm healthier than you. I look better than you. The people who, my haters are fat. Basically, my haters are wrong because they're fat. My haters are wrong because I'm skinnier than them. Is that all that's important to you, girl? Is you being skinny? Does that make you right? Does it make you a good person? Does it make you successful? Yikes, you're miserable.
You can see that how unhealthy people are. And of course, in the US, it's not common, or it's not allowed to say that. Everyone is afraid of that. But
Well, where are you from?
I'm from Switzerland, or it's Germany. Yeah, so it's yeah. And in Switzerland, what we did would not be allowed to call a hike.
Sasha, can you tell a story about the one time when we were going to take a short walk? This is actually a very true Sasha Franz story. Sasha Franz and Jessie Lee's story, where we went on a short walk.
Where
A short walk in Switzerland to the top of Zurich. Please tell the story. Come on camera while I grab these. All right,
Hi, guys.
everyone, Sasha Franz. Does he look healthy?
Oh no, I'm fat. So
You might not have just heard that because of his accent. However, she said, doesn't he look healthy? And he goes, no, I'm fat. And then they say like it's not fat phobia, and it's like, girl, yeah, that kind of is. Because again, you're making it seem like being fat is the worst thing in the world, and that your haters are wrong because you think they're fat, right? Like,
first of all, the hike, that's amazing. I love to watch the video. Actually, if you're a fan of JL, go to the video and report it about racism and wrong information, because there are so many stupid things in it that's really ridiculous. First of all, Matteo, how long did we plan this trip? I think we planned around 3 months this trip.
you want your viewers to go falsely report Julie Joe and Aaron B's live stream reaction to you and have it flagged for misinformation and racism? Again, I didn't watch those videos, but I can guarantee you, I bet my firstborn child, well actually that's Wiggum, so I don't bet him. I bet my secondborn child, they were not racist. What the fuck would you be racist about? It would make no sense.
Not something like we want to kill people. It's more about set and setting. Maybe the problem is most of the people, or these two ladies, just have the idea of bullshitting. If you it's just clickbaiting, I would say.
I would
No,
well, this
because-
person is saying the person with diabetes could have died. Are you sure?
Yes, of course. That's 100% true. If you sit at home, you can die too.
You can walk in Hawaii and a coconut gonna fall on your head and you can die.
Much more people die because of coconuts than shark attacks and stuff like that. Yes, that's absolutely true.
More people do die from coconuts or something falling on their head than shark attacks, because a lot of the times people don't actually die from shark attacks because the shark isn't like eating your body. You can die from blood loss, sure, but usually nibble, curiosity, they think we taste gross, they go away. So anyway, most people survive shark attacks. My point is, the point that they are making is completely idiotic.
The interesting part here, I would say, is
We kidnapped them too. Holy shit.
life is dangerous, guys. Life is dangerous, and the cool part is, at the end, all of you will die. So the question is, do you die empty, or do you die full of regrets you didn't do anything in your life?
That's not the point, though. Again, it's the whole like, wow, that was dangerous, but did you die? No, but it was dangerous and you lied. You didn't allow them to prepare correctly because you lied to them.
Interesting part is, think about it. When you are old, you will remember the things which were crazy and you're glad that you done it, right? And if someone says, no, I want to stay at home, then of course you should not be part of a team which is focusing on growth. And I do coaching and I do this outdoor stuff for over 10 years. So it's a little bit like, I feel very offended that someone said, hey, we tried to kill people. There was a lot of intention behind that. We set the stage right. We had the right setting. So it's really like crazy. And the funny part is, I would say we didn't even do a hike.
No, we didn't.
In Switzerland, you would be sued if you say that was a hike. No, because the mountain, we feel ashamed. They say, hey, at the end, we will hike up a mountain for 30 minutes. And it was like, yeah, it was a mountain which is in Dallas. Yes. Because Dallas is like super flat. So that was that. There was the hike we did in Switzerland. That was just a short. We wouldn't even say that it was a hike. It was a walk.
Yeah.
So it was a walk up the mountain.
Again, it's all about being prepared and intentionally lied to the people they brought as a coercion tactic, as a power move, and the people weren't able to prepare correctly. It's all mind games. It's all useless, manipulative mind games.
Yeah, but I wasn't expecting it. You told me it was a little walk 3 hours later of walking straight uphill.
Yeah.
And I still didn't consider that he trauma bonded me, like they said. I still didn't consider it gaslighting. You guys, you weren't there. So you weren't there 90 days in advance when I told them we would be doing physical exercises, getting to shape. You weren't there when 2 days before we set the entire stage of, you need to prepare yourself. So if you're somebody who needs more water, more snacks, more clothes, more whatever, do that. You weren't there when we literally told them everything to do. So
you weren't there when we told them everything to do. You weren't there. Obviously. Clearly we know that. But we're going off of the misinformation, allegedly. You're saying it's misinformation that you've already shared. So you're already outing yourself as a liar. But more so than that, you're saying that you prepared them. But in your previous video, you even said multiple times that you intentionally lied to them, that it was their own fault if they didn't prepare for a 15-hour hike or a 5K or whatever.
So, like, you literally weren't there, but then you watch a video of somebody who actually would have died on that. Like, I would say that they probably would have died on the walk, whether it's heat exhaustion, sheer laziness.
If they weren't prepared, maybe. If they have all the information and if they are prepared, then no, they would have been fine. They would have been okay. They probably would have loved it, just like I probably would have if I was prepared and knew what we were doing.
It's even funny that someone has the opinion and say something about that. Even the two ladies who were never there. And there's so many crazy things which are not fitting, because the question is, why should I, as a leader, try to kill my team to lose money? So that is super.
Oh, they said I tried to kill people?
They said I tried to kill people? You said that. How are they going to have opinion on this when they weren't there? Again, they're giving commentary, reacting to what Jessie Lee said happened. Why is I, as a leader, should try to kill off my team and lose money? That's what you're worried about? If someone on your team expires, you're worried about the money you're losing? Sir, we can say all day long, oh, it's just a language barrier. I just misinterpreted that. No. He just said that. Also, his English is pretty good.
Why would I create people who are traumatized? That doesn't make any sense.
Well, you don't create people that are traumatized. And this is more of a language barrier part. You traumatize them. And it's all cult tactics. That's why it's very common. They don't see it as trauma or anything like that until probably ever or way later.
It doesn't make any sense. And if you ever have some experience in growth, you know that you have to go through hard times. And personally, my personal opinion is most of you out there are too weak. Most of the bodies are too weak. And the goal is that you do more hard stuff to get better. I know it sounds hard, and maybe it's not allowed and appropriate to say that in America, but it's gospel.
We almost died in the Scouts. How are you supposed to prepare for life with no challenges? In the Girl Scouts or Boy Scouts, whatever, Eagle Scouts, you didn't almost die because that's literally all about preparation. That's what it teaches you, is always being prepared and all that. Literally what you're saying is invalid. How are you supposed to prepare for anything if the proper expectations aren't set?
It's my last call, so I don't care.
Somebody said, is this Sasha's last live?
Yeah, it will be. Definitely it will be my last live here on this channel, because I'm at the moment, should I say the address? No, just kidding. No, the point is, to be honest, most of the people are too weak because we have everything is super comfortable, but you will not get better if you are in a comfort zone. And of course, and that is the most interesting part, is haters are just hating from below to up. If you are in a good position, you never hate downwards. You always hate upwards. So you know where the people are coming from and where they are.
I guess kind of just like having empathy and being like, for you to say all that fucked up, like that real messed up stuff, like the hate comments I get. And of course there's difference between hate comments and actual constructive feedback or even any type of critique or people calling you out on your behavior. And being a hater, if you look up the definition, it's someone who has a strong dislike or a hate for something. Do I hate cults? Yeah. Do I hate these cult tactics and these coercion techniques? Yeah. Do I hate manipulation and liars? Yeah. Do I hate scammers? Yes. And it's okay. It's okay for you to do that. But that label of like hater, again, it's just to try to discredit anything that you say and to make it seem like you're like a low life and so much further below them. I don't think I'm better than anybody. Do believe I'm a better person, like genuinely. I'm not scamming people. So, you know.
Yeah, you guys don't like it that he's honest, but this is German, so this is just what it is.
Yeah.
So, is it fat phobia? No. If you're going to come on a trip with me where you know the kinds of trips we take, and I tell you 90 days in advance, please start doing cardio every day. Do cardio every day. And you didn't have to come on the trip. People chose to come on the trip, and everybody survived the trip. I don't know if you've noticed that people think that some diabetic died. The diabetic is freaking thriving. Yeah, but did the diabetic die? Right, exactly. Did she have it? Do you guys know if she had insulin or not? Or do we know that?
Yeah, I don't know much because you withhold information.
Nobody died.
That is not for everyone. We are all not top athletes.
Then don't go on the trip.
Yeah.
You didn't have to come on the trip, Catherine, or anybody.
It was nothing for top athlete. Come on.
So a top athlete would sue us because he said, I wasted the day. 100%. He would say, and if I compare it, after that, we were 4 days in the jungle without any medical advice. Yeah. And this was really hot because we walked every day 15 to 20 kilometers.
Ready to walk for 2 hours and ended up being longer than 2 hours.
Yeah, that's interesting.
What was the point behind that?
So the point is behind that this was a real life situation, that how often things take much longer than expected. And we always have
So what was the point of that? It was a metaphor. Okay, I understand that, but just because it's like there's a lesson to be learned and it was a metaphor doesn't mean that it also wasn't ethical for you to lie to them and purposely lie to them and then, yes, absolutely gaslight them and have this elitist attitude so that you can, in my opinion, hold it over them. Like that's not okay. It doesn't matter if you have a cute little dumb metaphor for it of like, because life gets hard sometimes. Okay. You also could have let them prepare correctly and still have like a great day.
Always have the expectation, oh, this should happen at this day. This should happen at this day. I should get this and this and this and that. But real life is totally different. Real life means you don't know when things are ending. And the cool thing is, look, what we are doing, what we did is a little bit more like parenting. Do you know what's the real task for a parent is? There are only two things what you should give your kids. No, I'm a person who has no kids, should get some parenting advice. There are two things you should give. and no, but that's very beautiful. I think who said that? He said, two things you should give kids: wings and roots. Right?
Yes, wings and roots. Yes,
so,
I hear you.
And the most important part is you have to give people a safe environment.
Here's the cult aspect, but you aren't your downline's parents. You're not their family. So why are you needing to parent them?
Wings and roots. Yes,
so,
I hear you.
And the most important part is you have to give people a safe environment where they can experience their boundaries. And that is the thing we already did. And so we created a situation where they did not know how long this hike.
So they're literally talking about like creating boundaries and, creating a safe environment. But it's like, okay, but emotionally and mentally, that's not a safe environment when you deliberately lied to them. And then she even said in her past video how when they were on the beach, she told them, like scolded them and told them how disappointed she was in them because they didn't prepare correctly, because they did things wrong, and how disappointed she was in them. And it's like, you lied to them.
Yep. And I think that is a perfect example to life, a perfect example. And we were on a business retreat, my friends. We were on a business retreat. That means we were there to help people to grow. No, don't block them. I'm on Instagram. Come and hate me, please.
Oh yeah. So we wake up. He's mad. He's like, "What do you mean? There's like 2,000 hate comments. Why can't I get some hate comments? I want some hate comments."
Yeah.
Because I have sales
We
for things
organized
that I do.
We organized the trip.
It's true. I was just the one making sure people were freaking safe. I'm kidding. They made sure too. But Mateo had to handle all that actually. It's true. I won't block him. Whatever. We'll let him stay.
Yeah. So think of it. The setting was people come for a champ retreat, a business retreat to grow in their business. So, of course, most of the people who are lazy said...
People come to grow in their business. So then why were you taking them on and lying to them about a hike and putting them in a very uncomfortable, physically and mentally and emotionally uncomfortable situation? It's not a business retreat.
I want to eat good and just lay on the beach. But I guarantee in that surrounding, you will not grow. So we decided to do something where people have the chance to grow.
She was about to say, well, you might. It sounds like she was about to say, well, you might, if you just like eat good food and sit around. This girl, the fat phobia is strong with this one.
To find out where the limits are and go from there to the next step.
This is a really accurate comment. It's mind-blowing that people who weren't there have everything negative to say, but every single person that was there wants to do it again tomorrow. That's like the comment of the year right there. It's exactly that.
It's because cult members can't see how messed up the situation is. Imagine if and I want to make this clear, imagine if any of those 16 people were to say to Jessie Lee, I don't want to do that again. I was very uncomfortable. You put me in a very uncomfortable position, or I don't like the way you talk to me. They would be blackballed, in my opinion, and it has been alleged to me that has happened multiple times.
None of you guys were there, and you have so many opinions on it. It's just like, I want you to pay attention to how people can market and literally brainwash you that fast. You can take our storytelling of this amazing hike of, how we set them up for all this stuff. It got really hot. We took them to this bird place. Birds were everywhere. They had to prepare their food. They do all this. Like, what? These aren't two of the participants. You're listening to actual participants of it, right? Go look at the people that are commenting.
I just think it's interesting that she's saying that people are twisting her words, but it's like, how are you twisting your words when they let, what you said, the words come out of your own mouth, and then gave their opinion or like their own commentary on it? Like, how dumb do you think people are, right? Like,
right? Go look at the people that are commenting that are like, I'm a survivor. You guys are making fun of the people that say they're survivors. Like, why is this even something? Why do you literally watch these people who were never successful in something, then try to tear apart people that are successful what they do? Like, that's what life is.
Never successful in anything. You don't know that. I feel like I don't even have to say anything like that. Like, my personal life, fabulous. My channel, so thankful for y'all. It is thriving, getting more and more sponsorships. Been working real hard with that. Thank God. Channel views are pretty steady, doing really good right now. And we're almost at 100,000 subscribers. Who knows, by the time this video is posted, maybe we've already hit that milestone, which would be amazing. So yes, as this is my full-time job, as I make a good amount of, revenue, I've made this my career, my job, and I'd say I'm pretty successful at it, have the respect of a lot of my peers, and have built great relationships from this. And I'm super proud of that. And I've helped a lot of people. So yes, I would say that I'm successful. And then arguably, I would say as well that Julie, Joe, and Aaron and DC are successful too. So how can you say that they've never succeeded in anything?
That's what life is. It's like, I can list the 500 things they don't like about themselves more than anything else.
Do you know what I feel sad is?
What does someone's insecurities or what they don't like or do like about themselves have to do with the indisputable fact, in my opinion, that you're a piece of shit? And that the information that you put out there made you look like a cult leader.
You know what I feel sad is that you listen to someone and you are so engaged that you go to the other person and start hating this person. I said,
But you guys don't even know, like literally the thousands of you who went to my page and you don't even know me and you start hating me because I changed 15 people's lives. Like, what is wrong with you? You literally weren't there.
Again, you literally weren't there. You don't know me. And it's like, girl, I don't need to know you. And I don't think these people hate you. I think they're calling you out on fitting the characteristics of a cult leader.
And what do you mean trauma bonding? It was not traumatic.
not at all. No,
You literally couldn't even be regular friends with us, period. Because our daily life is more active, often, literally often more active than that day. Lynn Adcox, here's a survivor. You changed my life.
You couldn't be friends with us because you couldn't basically keep up with us because we're so active. Jessie Lee, I don't know if you know this, most people don't want to be friends with you because you are so insufferable.
Lynn Adcox, here's a survivor. You changed my life. Over here, they're pretty sure that we tried to kill you. But over here, you and the actual experience, your life has changed for the better. It's incredible. You should want coaches that push you. You should want coaches that want you to become a better version of yourself.
You changed my life. No, Jessie Lee, that person most likely is just looking for a validation from you. And most likely you've prompted them to come to your defense because you got shit on. And really from what I'm seeing, she didn't get that much hate, but because she gets so much positive engagement, which still her engagement rate sucks. Because in my opinion, most of her followers are bot, burner accounts and ghost accounts and literal robots, purchased robots.
You should want people who go, stop, you can push through my lungs hurt, it's hot out, I'm thirsty. You can push through all that stuff. It's just that you are talking to yourself negatively and you're listening to all this outside noise instead of talking to yourself I can do this, I can push myself. We had people who couldn't do a 10-second plank on the first day that we made them. By the end of the 4th, 5th day, whatever it was, we're doing 3-minute planks. And now they're gone doing 3-minute planks every single day from home. A medical professional, who fucking cares? What are you talking about? Do I need to be a medical professional? We sat down with her. We said, hey, you're diabetic? Okay, great. Can you test your blood sugar? We talked to her. We said, do you have your insulin? She goes, yeah. You guys don't know these things and you're acting like we almost killed somebody. It's really... We
don't know these things because you omitted that information because you were trying to be such a storyteller and make it sound so cool and so I pushed them so hard and I was so disappointed and I'm so much skinnier than them and have so much better endurance and blah, blah, blah. Okay, Jessie Lee, got it.
Somebody, it's really crazy. And then you sent your psycho cronies on us, literally psychopaths. It's what are you doing? Lynn is at 4-minute and 30-second planks already. Girl, are you still singing Amazing Grace when you do it? Because I heard you in the gym that last day. Oh, God.
I worked in the ER, so that's very interesting so that they see.
How did you refrigerate insulin on a hike? Have you never heard of ice?
Crazy.
Dry ice, yeah.
Don't need dry ice. I have injectables literally every day. What are you talking about? This is crazy.
Weird that she just said she takes injectables every day. What are you putting in your body? That's strange. Are you on steroids? What's happening?
Crazy. This isn't about disagreeing. You guys have called me a drug addict the last 2 days. You've called me manic. You've called me a sociopath, a narcissist. I tried to kill people, and you're mad at me for coming on here and talking about the people who are having their lives changed? Get a freaking grip. You guys are very unhealthy.
I don't think it's nice to call people those certain things, especially when people throw out you're a narcissist, you're all these medical actual psychological terms. What? There are some people who are Chelsea's a narcissistic, bipolar, whatever, and it's what? You're clearly not a medical professional, because no medical professional would actually say that without evaluating someone. You clearly haven't evaluated me. You don't know me. So no.
You guys are very unhealthy, extremely unhealthy. And the behavior and the people that you follow, lip filler, I don't have lip filler. I don't have cheek filler. I don't have anything going on. Incredible. Incredible. Amazing. Nobody said I tried to kill people on this live. People said we were trying to kill people. What are you talking about?
Yeah, we tried, but everyone was harder to kill. So that was the problem.
Kind of love that he was just like, yeah, we tried to. He's obviously being facetious, but I don't think she tried to kill anybody. That's a little bit crazy. Calm down. Do I think that she did put certain people's life at risk? Yeah. She says that she didn't know that they had diabetes. She specifically said that in the last video. So she also says that like she knew in this one, and it's like, well, did you know or did you not? Why are you contradicting yourself so much?
By the way, I'm using the word literally over and over again because that's literally what you guys kept doing. They literally took her on a 15-hour hike, literally tried to kill people, literally. She's literally on drugs. She's literally using cocaine. Really? Would you like to drug test me?
So the interesting part is, if you're on this live, just here to hate, I think, why don't you spend the time with the people you love instead of spread some hate? Because it doesn't make your life better.
I mean, it's entertaining, honestly. And just because you spend 20 minutes watching a video of someone reacting to someone that is very cringe, just because you watch certain type of content doesn't mean that your life's miserable and that you're not spending time with people who love you. Now, if you're like hate watching, yeah, I don't think I'm hate watching. I'm raising awareness and breaking down the cult tactics and stuff like that. Is it entertaining? Absolutely.
What's my content about? So in general, I am a business coach. Today we're talking about a 15-hour hike. And these are pure therapeutic ketones. We are selling them. They are for fat loss, muscle preservation, better sleep, skin, mood, focus, energy, and digestion. Boss Lee, how do you deal with more haters than lovers? I don't have more haters than lovers. And if you spend any amount of time to actually get to know me, it's a non, like it's done. Oh, I love that. You guys are so sweet.
I'd say that arguably she does have more people that don't like her than do like her, especially since when you're just looking at the like analytics, it does, and going through her follower account and all that, it does seem like mostly all of them are bot accounts.
Randy says, come introvert and hike here in Nicaragua. Avi said he wants to come here. Is that true, babe?
Yeah,
Did Randy sell you in Nicaragua?
Wow.
Nicaragua's great. I've been there many times. I was actually there the first time.
I want to go there,
Yeah.
actually.
You were absolutely gorgeous with your blessed pregnancy. Hold on. What are we talking about here?
With the what?
What are we talking about? Someone said my blessed pregnancy.
What is
I mean, they're saying I'm pregnant!
You want to tell me something that they don't know?
Why is she obsessed? Because she's a loser. Huh?
You want to tell me something? What do
I mean, I think I tell you if I had blood in the oven, babe.
I don't think she's talking about me. I think she's talking about Erin, saying she's obsessed because she's a loser. She's been through some shit. I mean, this person really did a number on her. And it's understandable. I mean, if y'all knew half the shit that, I've heard, it's crazy.
I mean, I think I'd tell you if I had a bun in the oven, babe. That's kind of awkward. Do I look pregnant? Like, what's happening? Oh, you're talking about Megan George. Thank God, Michelle. I was like, listen, okay? Listen, I will strip it right down, okay? And we will just get naked up in this hoe. So yes, Megan George is gorgeous. Baby Maverick will be here very soon, and we're super excited. And we will definitely come to Australia, don't worry. I'll be filling stadiums around the world. No problem. Thank you for following. Appreciate you guys.
You could hardly fill a conference room, like a ballroom.
Yes, you can ask anything you want. I'm not blocking people, so I know a bunch of you are a little bit crazy and doing screen record, like that's like your cool thing to do, but do whatever you want to do. Go tear Sasha apart next. Sasha really wants you to make him go viral. He's sick of me going viral all the time. He's like, what the? He's like, they're literally the most good. I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. It's interesting that like the anti-MLM people don't do videos about men. Like, have you noticed they tear down women that they're wildly jealous of? Like, So we already talked about this, but people If
that makes her feel better, whatever you have to tell yourself, babe. And I have talked about men. I've talked about men a good bit, but the thing is that most people in network marketing, most of these online scammers are women. It's primarily women, which sucks, but I definitely have talked about men.
Did I make people hike for 15 hours without their consent? The answer is no. First of all, I never told you if they signed consent forms or not. That never happened. You also don't know how we prepared. Though we already talked about it. We can keep talking about it. You want to keep talking about the 15-hour hike, 15-hour walk. Wasn't even 15 hours, but whatever. Literally.
What's funny though is that she, the way she's phrasing that is saying, I never told you if they signed disclosures or consent forms or waivers. You don't know if they did. It's like, but did they? Did they? You haven't said if they did. You just said that we don't know if they did. So why are you phrasing it like that?
MLM is predominantly women. It's kind of simple math. Well, I just showed you 2 men. The trip had 5 men on it. So, but you're saying it's 15 women on a 15-hour hike. So your stories are all a little crazy, but
like people telling the story, and then it's one go from another to another, and people remember just a small thing, and then it's become like a total different story than the truth.
So they're talking about like the game of telephone, you know, like you tell the story and then it gets, you know, twisted. And that does happen. Absolutely. But the thing is that it's not just people twisting and telling a story. There's receipts. People are going off of exactly what you said. So are you saying that you're lying and that you misrepresented what happened? 'Cause it sounds like that's what you're saying.
Just like how I'm on drugs, you know, like right here. Wait, you're on some drug? No, never said that either. I know you're living my life. I know it's not me living my life, but since you're living my life, why don't you tell everybody that I'm on? You know, like, let's talk about that.
Like she's twisting her own words, and she can disagree with what people are saying and people's reactions and opinions regarding what she had said, but it really seems like she is twisting her own words from like the original story that she had told.
So what statistics do matter? You still are only attacking women. So I don't think the ratio is accurate. And actually, that's not true. Where did you hear that it's mostly women? Because there's a lot of these tech companies that are almost entirely male. So these trading companies, things of that nature. So you're actually wrong about that.
Okay, so she's just saying statistics matter, blah, blah, whatever. Yeah, no, absolutely. When the data is correct, it does matter. 75% of the direct selling participants in the US in 2020 were women. Based on the data on MLM demographics for this segment in the US, women are predominantly involved in direct selling. Men, meanwhile, comprise only 25% of direct sellers. Truelist.co, MLM statistics. In Europe, women comprise 84.9% of direct sellers. And in all of them, the Americas, Asia, Pacific, Europe, Middle East, and Africa, every single one, it's over 50%. That's the majority is women. All right, so she's done talking about the whole trip thing, and that's all I wanted to really cover was her response to it and just how really unhinged it was, and the gaslighting aspect of it, and the playing the victim and play on authority, and just how gross it is. And this is already going to be a real long video, and I'm really sorry to Ethan, but yeah, it's just real gross. And she's trying to, I don't even want to say necessarily dig herself out of this hole, because she doesn't see anything wrong with what she did, and she's not going to admit fault. Probably ever. She's not like that. I think she's way too arrogant and egotistical and elitist for that. You can think I'm being mean and harsh when I say those things. I don't care. We can have a difference of opinion. That's fine. But she has checked off a lot of the boxes for a cult leader. I will have a lot of great resources down below where you can see all of these things that I've discussed today. Again, as I said in my last video, please don't fall for someone like this. You might think, oh my gosh, she has such great energy. She's such a great person. No, she's not. She's horrible. And she's acting like this to try to capture your attention, to try to make the BS, the empty sentences and promises and woo-woo, I'm going to change your life mindset crap that she spouts. She's trying to make it sound more valuable when it's not. It's all empty. Absolutely empty. Completely. That's why she's always screaming. That's why she's always screaming and she's so loud. Because if you say it loud, that means it's important. No. If you have a valid criticism and you're overweight, guess what? Your weight, how you look, does not negate the facts that you're saying or your argument or what you have to say. Feelings are valid. She's a not great person, in my opinion. I don't think she kidnapped her team. I think that she, was coercing them and had the intent of manipulating them, and she did, and putting that over their heads. It's just real messed up. Yet she's gonna blame other people for the reaction she's getting from people who are actually pretty logical and not brainwashed by her, which is absolutely hilarious that this is how she's acting and she's blaming other people. And it's like, no girl, you said all this stuff. Like, you went on video and tried to make yourself sound real cool and like, oh my god, I changed so many people's lives, it was so great, when you're just stomping all over them and just being not a nice or good person. Like, that's not okay. So you don't deserve to be treated like that. If you're on her team, please, for the love of God, wake up. Please wake up. This person doesn't care about you. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed all the content I've been putting out lately. I hope you have a great rest of your day, night, weekend, whenever you're watching this. I know I was a little bit more spicy and a little bit more harsh in this video, but I think it's because I got, kind of protective of not only the truth, but how she was just being super manipulative and trying to gaslight everyone in the world, and go back on what she even said. So please do subscribe, consider subscribing, comment for engagement. That really does help me a lot. Share this video if you want, or this little series we've done on her. If you want to know more about her and much more anecdotal evidence that's pretty, go watch the video, the deep dive that I did on her. I'm very proud of that That was actually my response to her cease and desist that she sent me, which was the most pathetic cease and desist I've ever seen in my life. I do a dramatic reading of it and break it down in that video too. I go over defamation and libel and slander and all that too. It's a very, very educational video. It's wonderful. I'm very proud of that video. I made that like a year and a half ago. So like I said, I'll have a bunch of resources, bunch of good stuff in the description box. And I hope that y'all have an amazing, amazing rest of your day. February sucks, but I hope you have a good February. I hope you feel loved, not only in February, but every day. And sometimes we don't, and that's okay. It's okay to not be okay. But be patient with yourself. Be nice to yourself. You are valuable. Your feelings are valid. Stay spicy. Stay assertive. Protect yourself. Protect your sanity. And for the love of God, subscribe. It's free. Let's get to 100,000 subscribers if we're not already. And I'll see you in my next video. Goodbye.